Good afternoon, folks, and welcome inside Sorgente Arena. I'm Ricky Sobrano here with you. Welcome you inside for another basketball doubleheader today between the Chestnut Hill Griffins and the Jefferson University Rams, with the women going in game one. Should be a good one, especially the first game, as two outstanding teams, two top-of-the-line teams in the CACC take each other on. Jefferson coming in at 16-2. 9-1 in conference. Chestnut Hill 12-7, but more importantly 8-2 in conference, and they had a 6-game winning streak. All of those conference games snapped in a loss their last time out on the road against Bloomfield on Saturday. So these are two teams that there's a lot of statistical ramifications here, or standings ramifications here. Chestnut Hill at 8-2 in conference. They were third right now in the CACC South, just one game back of U Sciences and these Jefferson Rams. So win this game, and you are tied at that point for second, pending what U Sciences does today. So this is a very big one for the Griffins, and it's also a rematch of a game earlier this year where on the road Jefferson ended up beating the Griffins 81-71, despite the 10-point spread. That was actually an overtime game, just Chestnut Hill outscored by 10 in the overtime, which you don't typically see. So let's take a look at the starters now for both teams. We'll start with the visiting Jefferson University Rams. The introduction just finished up. We'll start in the backcourt with Jessica Kaminsky, 5'8" redshirt junior guard out of Philadelphia. Averages 12.5 points per game and reigning CACC Defensive Player of the Week. Rachel Day, the leading scorer on the team, a 5'7" senior guard out of Horsham, Pennsylvania, averages 13.3 points per game. The third guard in that look is Alina Williams, 5'2" redshirt sophomore point guard out of Ambler, Pennsylvania, averages just over 3 assists per game. In the front court is Erin Mayer, 6' redshirt junior out of Lansdale, PA, and Beverly Coombe, a 5'10" junior center out of Hagerstown, Maryland, by way of Valley Forge Military College. For the Griffins, it is in the backcourt, Vicky Tomas, the leading scorer in the conference at just over 17 per game. She's joined by Kaylee Gibson, Mary Trossi, Shannon Glenn in the front court, and Jada Wildgoose. And we'll pause for a second for the national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chestnut Hill College at Sorgente Arena for this evening's Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference basketball doubleheader between the Jefferson University Rams and your Chestnut Hill College Griffins. Prior to the start of this evening's competitions, we would like to take a moment to extend a special welcome to the members of the 2016-2017.
Good afternoon, folks, and welcome inside Sorgente Arena. So I was about to get to it before we ran into the national anthem, but if you're wondering why Jada Wildgoose was announced last in the starting lineup today, which is not typical, it was to honor her for picking up her 1,000th point in the last game the Griffins played. That was on the road in a loss to Bloomfield, so congratulations to Jada, 1,000 points, and obviously a chance for many more than that. She's only a junior, so plenty of games left in her career. That's the starting five for the Griffins, who are out there now on the court in their hometown gold unis with red numbers and red trim down the sides, white trim on the numbers. Chestnut Hill emblazoned in white with red trim on the front. Jefferson out there in navy blue with sky blue trim on the shorts. Jefferson in navy, or rather in sky blue on the front. And kind of funky numbers. Sky blue, navy blue, and then white trim on the top of it on those numbers. So the tip is 1 to Williams into the front court. And the first possession of the game goes to Jefferson. Inside, no good. That's Coombe on her first attempt of the game. And Day comes away with the board. It trickles all the way into the backcourt. And that will be a backcourt violation. So now we'll see the Griffins on offense. As it will be Gibson to do the honors. She'll inbound from the left of her own hoop. Just a few ticks into this ball game. Inbound tipped out of bounds by Mayer. And it stays with the Griffins. Chestnut Hill had that 6-game win streak snapped in their last game on the road. But they're still 6-1 at home this year. Trossi in the lane, kicks back out Glenn, lines it up, tries to entry for Wild Goose instead, but it's too far for her. And the two teams trade turnovers early on. Griffins will press early on in the game. Mayer gets across the timeline, and now it's Williams setting up shot. Left side, 45 feet away, 18 to shoot. Lobs it down low, that's stolen by Glenn. Tried to get it in for Coombe at the top of the key, but Glenn with the quick hands took it away. Here's Tomas inside, and she lays it home. The first points of the game on the assist from Glenn, set up by the Glenn steal. It's Williams, far side. She is able to get it across the timeline, right to left, with Trossi on her. Here's Day holding, now a 3 on the way, straight on, and putting it home. That's Erin Mayer. First points of the game for Jefferson. 1-point game, couple minutes in. Trossi calling out the signals as she gets across the timeline. Gibson holding, deep left wing, back for Trossi. Tomas holds the ball over her head. They get it in for Wild Goose. Right block, kicks out Glenn. She had an open look if she didn't fumble it. Now turns the corner, hands off for Glenn. That's a deep 2, not a 3, and it's off to the right. Rebound for Kaminsky and Jefferson. Kaminsky up ahead for Williams. Inside quickly, Coombe rises and hits over Wild Goose. 3-point game, Jefferson on top. Not quite 2 minutes into this one. Jefferson, this will be an interesting matchup because it's kind of a contrast in styles. Jefferson, the best rebounding team in the league. They have a +7 rebound margin. And the Griffins, that's their weakness, without a doubt. Scoop layup inside, off to the right from Glenn. Coombe comes away with the board, and Cassie Sebald already up off the bench. She will check in at the next whistle. Mike West not happy with his team early in this game. Kaminsky around the screen. Cut off at the free throw line. Kicks back out. Day a 3 off left. Rebound Tomas in the lane. There's Tomas looking to push, but Kaminsky gets back. Kaminsky, an excellent defender. Rating CACC Defensive Player of the Week, so they will stick her on Tomas. That should be an interesting matchup. Tomas right wing, shot, fake. Back for Glenn, a 3. Air ball too short from the left wing, and it caroms out of bounds. Now here comes Sebald. Trossi will sit. Cassie Sebald yet again, the reigning Rookie of the Week in the CACC. That's the 3rd time she's been given that honor. Here's Mayer with Sebald all over her. She'll kick back for Williams. We'll set it up with 18 on the shot clock. Back for Mayer, left wing. Sebald on her. They'll post up Coombe down low. She faces up, drives right into the lane, and that is a travel. Juggled the ball. And she drove diagonally across the lane, did Coombe. So it goes to the Griffins, second turnover. On Jefferson, here's Sebald with a head of steam. Around the screen up high, cut off down low, kicks back out for Glenn. That pass tipped, otherwise Glenn would have had an open look. Glenn handoff to Tomas, a 3. Rattles in from the right wing. First 3 of the game for the Griffins as Tomas gets a friendly roll on the hometown rims. We're tied at 5. Not quite 4 minutes into the game. Mayer passed up an open look, and that pass tipped out of bounds. We'll say it was off of Day last. Let's see if they changed their mind. That looked to be, it was off of Tomas, without a doubt. So the officials talk that over and end up getting it right. Day gets it in for Williams. 22 to shoot for Jefferson. Illegal screen. That's on Kaminsky. Jefferson led by Tom Shirley in his 29th season with the Rams. A storied head coach. Jefferson has 2 of them. Gibson a 3, too short from straight on. Rebound for Kaminsky and Jefferson. Kaminsky trotting it up court. Now Williams will slow it down between the circles. 20 to shoot. As Day holds, now Mayer, Coombe on the perimeter. Williams right wing, 15 to shoot. Get it down low for Day. She'll dribble back out to the perimeter, 9 to shoot. Williams walks it back to the middle of the floor, works right around the Coombe screen, 4 to shoot. Cut off, doubled in the corner. Jacks one up, too short, air ball, and it's taken away by Gibson. Here's Gibson looking to push, crosses over at the timeline, into the corner, Seaball to 3, and a travel. Trossi and Tamaya Graham into the game. Wild Goose and Gibson sit. Griffin's going small here with Trossi and Seabold both in. It's Williams walking up the court, 5-5. Not quite 5 minutes into the opening quarter. Crossing over up top, it's Day. Kicks back out from there. Another handoff up high. Kaminsky crosses over at the line, and that's a blocking foul on Graham on her way to the hoop. And they will call it a shooting foul. Or at least they're talking it over whether it is or not. And now the official does have 2 fingers up in the air, so that means 2 free throws to come for Kaminsky. Jessica Kaminsky, 61.4% from the line. Leads the team in rebounds as that first one rattles out, even though she's listed as a guard at 8.8 per game. That's one of the top marks in the CACC as a 5'8 guard, so that's pretty impressive for her. Cunningham is getting set to check in for Jefferson. Looks like there was an issue getting her in, unless she's going to come in for Kaminsky after the free throw. Second is good. And now Cunningham into the game. It's not for Kaminsky, it's for Williams, which means she did not check in time initially on that first free throw. Here's Trossi, trotting it up court. 24 to shoot, lost the ball off her own foot, and it goes to Coombe. Here's Coombe up ahead of the pack to the hoop, and she was fouled. Slowed down and drew the contact from Glenn, who was trailing. And she'll go to the line, so Glenn, good job to get back, and at the very least avoid the easy 2. At least make Coombe earn it. And she hits the first. Coombe good from the line for the center, a shade over 71%, and hits both. 7-5 game, Jefferson on top. So we close in on the midway point of the opening quarter. Day will sit, Williams back in. That's a matchup of 5'2 guards right now, Trossi and Williams. Seaball turns the corner inside, a lot of contact there, no call, and the shot carried off to the side. It was partially blocked by Coombe. Here's Coombe up ahead of the pack, kicks back out. Williams right wing, 22 to shoot. Good transition defense by the Griffins as they got back as Jefferson was looking to run. Williams walks it over to the right wing. Back in for Coombe, right block. She goes up and is fouled. So Coombe back to the line for 2 more. Second foul on Graham and the third on the Griffins overall. 4:38 to go. In the opening half, 8-5. Jefferson on top, making 9. As substitutions here is Tamaz, Glenn, and Graham all sit. Gibson back in, as is Wild Goose. And we'll see Rachel Milan, too, freshman guard, who we don't typically see get a lot of run, especially early in games. It's only her second game of the year. Gibson left wing for Milan, top of the key, 22 to shoot, 10-5 game. Jefferson on top early on. Gibson top of the key, back for Trossi, 15 to shoot. She'll back out. Milan left wing. She holds. Seabold between the circles, drives right, kicks for Trossi, short right corner, up top Milan, 6 to shoot, drives left. That pass tipped and stolen by Kuhn. Here comes Williams, near side looking to run. For Day left wing, she'll hold. Drives left baseline on Gibson to the hoop. A lot of contact, no call. Seabold comes away with the board as the shot was partially blocked by Gibson. Here's Gibson on the other end, and she was fouled on her way to the hoop. That's on Mayer. Not a shooting foul. Second on Jefferson. Now Tamaz back in. Trossi will sit. Gibson inbound, right of the hoop. Around the screen, it's Seabold. Entry pass for Wild Goose, left block, forces it up, no good, off left, gets her own miss, goes back up and finishes on the reverse, going left to right across the hoop. 3-point game. It's Day. Skip pass into the corner. That's Cunningham, her first touch, reverse layup at the bottom of the backboard as she drove baseline, and here comes Gibson. Cut off in the backcourt, she'll hand off for Wild Goose and get it back. Now Jefferson backs off, and Gibson will bring it up court. Milan, deep left wing, picks up her dribble. Has it back from Tamaz, fires a deep two, too strong. From 18, rebound for Mayer and Jefferson. Milan holds. She'll walk over to the right wing to set up the offense. Coombe calling for it down low. Williams jacks a three instead, too short. On a deep one, rebound for Seabold. And the Griffins, 10-7 game, 7 minutes in. To the opening quarter, step back three to Maz, too short. Freed herself up with a nice open look. Ball goes out of bounds near corner as Wild Goose clashed to the floor. See who it's off of, no sign yet. Glenn back in, Milan sits, and the ball stays with the Griffins. It's a nice hustle by Wild Goose to earn Chestnut Hill another extra possession. Seabold right wing, shot fake, works left, picks up her dribble at the elbow, bolt pass into the corner, Glenn. She'll kick back out, and Seabold will reset between the circles. Glenn deep left wing, holds. Now Wild Goose top of the key, a running start to the hoop. No good off glass on the banker. Rebound for Jefferson, and here's Williams right wing. Jefferson will reset on the handoff from Cunningham, dribbled it off her foot, and that'll be another backcourt violation. Williams just inattentive there. That's the second backcourt violation on Jefferson of this quarter, which is it's not something you see very typically. Trossi sits for the Griffins. Gibson back in. Wild Goose holds between the circles. One dribble to her left. Hits a cutting to Maz down low. Hit the bottom of the backboard on the layup. Out of bounds and stays with the Griffins. .21 to shoot for Chestnut Hill. The officials will talk this over. The initial signal was for Chestnut Hill. Let's see if they change that. And they want the shot clock to reset. They're saying that shot hit the bottom of the rim, which, to be honest, I don't think it did. But the Griffins will take it as they get 9 extra seconds to shoot. As a result, between the circles, Glenn. Now to Maz, holds over her head under 2 to play. In the opening quarter, Glenn lines it up. Got it. Shannon Glenn, her first 3 of the game, and it ties it up 10-all. 1:48 to go in the opening quarter. Here's Cunningham. And off for Day. Now Mayer holds, ball over her head, 18 on the clock. Agun to Ashe, 31 in blue, her first touch of the game and her first minutes of the game. Down low, they'll post up Day, Agun to Ashe, a lot of contact, that's a charge. She barreled over Gibson on her way to the hoop. So Agun to Ashe, sophomore forward, getting her first run of the game and immediately turns it over because of the foul. 1:26 to go, 10-10 game in the opening quarter. Here's Trossi on the run, handoff Glenn, thought about it. Works left and hands off for Gibson instead. Skip pass into the corner, Trossi. Back around the perimeter, it's Glenn, left wing. 16 on the clock, Glenn. Diagonally across the lane, a floater, Gibson in and out. From 12 and straight on. That ball went halfway down, but unkind rims that time. It's Day, kicks for Mayer, 3 left wing. Too short, tipped and kept alive by Kaminsky, and she comes away with a fresh 30 for Jefferson, now under a minute to play in the opening quarter. Kaminsky running start in the lane with the left hand, kicks out an open 3, Mayer. Got it. Erin Mayer, her second 3, set up by Kaminsky. 3-point game, Jefferson on top, 35 seconds to go. In the opening quarter, about a 8-second difference between shot and game clock. So the Griffins were looking to play 2 for 1, but they couldn't get the quick shot here. Now with 16 on the clock. Glenn shot fake, deep left wing. Tomas between the circles. 10 to shoot. Glenn left wing, a 3. Book it. Shannon Glenn has now made her last 2 shots, both of them 3s. We're tied at 13 under 10 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Here's Cunningham on the run, 5 to shoot, steps back a deep 2, 2 short, rebound Graham, 1 to shoot, and Trossi did not get it up in time. It was too short anyway. So that's how the opening quarter will end, 13 all. Griffins are tied up with the Rams.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the game, Chestnut Hill College invites you to the official restaurant of Griffin Nation. Just take a short trip down Germantown Pike for plenty of good food, drink, and fun at Brinningham's Pub in Lafayette Hill.
Need a pick-me-up? McCaffrey Lounge, located on the main floor of Fournier Hall, is our newly redesigned cafe on campus. Here you can enjoy your favorite caffeinated beverage or a baked good fireside and relax in a comfortable lounge chair. Brought to you by Chartwells, who reminds you to eat, learn, live.
Either of these opportunities at the table that is right at the entrances for J Arena, 50/50 raffle and t-shirt sales.
Back here inside Sorgenti Arena, Chestnut Hill and Jefferson tied at 13 as we head to the second quarter. Jefferson just 3 of 13 in the first quarter. The Griffins 5 of 17, so they've attempted more and have shot a slightly higher percentage. But Jefferson 5 of 6 at the line. The Griffins yet to attempt a free throw, so that's why we're tied. See if the shooting percentage picks up a little bit here as we go on. First possession of the second quarter goes to the Griffins in gold. Jefferson in navy with the sky blue trim. Crossing over baseline is Glenn cut off. It's a cutting wild goose, and she finishes left of the hoop. Nice feed by Glenn. That's her second assist. Both on baskets by Jada Wildgoose. Griffins back on top. 30 seconds in to the second quarter. Kaminsky with a head of steam, kicks into the corner, Mayer, but an offensive foul. She ran over Rachel Milan. Would have been a wide open 3 for Mayer. So that's a turnover on Jefferson, and the Griffins take over. Glenn handoff for Siebold, right wing. Pass through the legs of her defender Kaminsky for a spinning wild goose down low, but her shot was rejected by Coombe. Nice little feed by Siebold. Almost led to points, too. Here's Mayer, handoff Williams, 22 to shoot, and Williams will reset. Works right, handoff Kaminsky, crossover, back for Williams in the corner. She's doubled by Trossi and Siebold, but dribbles out of it with the left hand, drives baseline, pulls up, doesn't get the roll from 12, out of bounds, and it goes to the Griffins. Alexandra Warren in the game for the first time today now. As Mayer will sit, Kaminsky will play Siebold all the way up court. Siebold gets a step on her and gets across the timeline, far side. 22 to shoot, Siebold right wing, Kaminsky in her hip pocket. Siebold breaks away inside Wild Goose, and she finishes off the window. Set up by Seabold, who dribbled all over the court, zigzagged up and down before she found Wild Goose for the deuce. 4-point game, 8:28 to go in the second quarter. Williams holds right wing, now Kaminsky. Coombe, left corner, works right with the right hand, pulls up from the free throw line, in and out. Rebound for Day, and she gets it to go. Right of the hoop, off glass. Well, that's what Jefferson does. They really hit the boards hard. Average about 16 offensive boards per game. And that's a second chance points there as Milan throws it away, taken away by Coombe. 3-on-1 the other way. Williams leads for Kaminsky, and she finishes right of the hoop. Quick 4-0 run for Jefferson. We're now tied up at 17. A little over 2 minutes in the second quarter. Wild Goose holds. Century pass for Glenn, and she was fouled on the catch. Tamaz and Gibson back in. Milan will sit, as will Shannon Glenn. Seabold will inbound. 30 to shoot. Ball stripped out of the hands of Gibson and trickles out of bounds near side. No signal yet. Stays with the Griffins. Tamaz will inbound from right in front of the Jefferson bench. Gets it in for Wild Goose. She drives left into the lane, goes up and was fouled. Shot would not fall. Fouls on Coombe, her first. And the first on Jefferson this quarter. Wild Goose at the line for 2 when she picked up her 1,000th point on the road against Bloomfield. It was on a free throw, which is appropriate considering that's how she does so much of her damage. Wild Goose very, very good from the line. As she hits both on that trip, 19-17. Griffins back on top. Deep right wing Kaminsky works left with the left hand. Wild Goose on her. Williams right wing, 16 on the clock. Crosses over on Trossi, kicks for Kaminsky, left wing, works right around the Coombe screen. Back for Williams, left wing, 8 to shoot. She goes right around the screen from Coombe, inside, and gets it to go on the floater. Left of the lane from 8. Nice touch by Williams. 19 all. Here's to Maz. She was fouled. Vicky Tamaz to the line for 2 as the Griffins fast breaking off a made basket as they routinely do. Griffins, one of the highest paced teams in the conference. Seabold and Wild Goose sit. Graham and Glenn back in. Attempted the most field goals, and they've attempted and made 60 more free throws than second best. Maz hits both. 2-point game. Griffins back on top, under 7 to play in the second quarter. Williams will set up shop, deep right wing with Glenn on her. That's a size mismatch. Back out Williams. That was Lights who had the ball for a minute, 22 in blue, her first minutes of the game. Usually doesn't play this early on. Kaminsky, tough layup in traffic, but she gets it to go with the right off glass. Tied at 21 again. Two teams have traded leads back and forth in this quarter as Glenn is fouled on the perimeter. It's on Lights. It's already the 5th foul on Jefferson, so that will send Glenn to the line. 4-2. Griffins in the bonus already. Not quite halfway through the second quarter, so Chestnut Hill did not attempt a free throw in the first quarter. Already attempted 5 with 1 more to come in the second. And likely many more to come after that. No good on the second from Glenn. Graham keeps it alive, rejected by Warren. Here's Kaminsky, crosses over, inside, kicks back out a 3-day, in and out, a little too strong. Rebound for Graham, and the Griffins. Seabold in a rush, middle of the 4. Cut off, picks up her dribble, lobs it down low. Gibson on the reverse, no good. Off to the right. Here's Kaminsky looking to run. Cuts diagonally into the lane, a three on the way, Day. Off to the right again, rebounds Seabold. And she'll try to dribble her way out of traffic. Lobs it up ahead, Gibson, down low, Graham. Pass was too tall for her, out of bounds. And it stays with the Griffins. That pass was a little bit stronger. It had a high arc to it. If it was a little bit stronger from Gibson, it probably would have been an open look for Graham. But it stays with the Griffins in either event. 22-21, Chestnut Hill leads. 5:47 to go. In the second quarter, the inbound pass tipped out of bounds, and it stays with the Griffins. Tamaz will inbound. In for Seabold with 20 to shoot. Williams on her as Seabold crosses over. Handoff for Glenn, deep left wing. Holds the ball over her head, 12 to shoot. Drives right with the right hand. Scoop shot, too strong. Out of bounds on the rebound underneath. And it stays with the Griffins. The ball did not hit rim, so they'll have 8 to shoot. Gibson will inbound right of the hoop. 8 to shoot for the Griffins. It's Glenn. 6 on the clock. Works right. Kicks back out to Maz. 2 to shoot. That's a deep 2, top of the key. Air ball and a shot clock violation. Griffins will press. Seabold looking to play Williams all the way up the court. Glenn looking to come and trap. They have her far side, 35 feet away. She breaks it, though, with a nice pass from Mayer, a 3. Too strong, high rebound. Day comes away with it back for Mayer, and Williams will reset. Miscommunication defensively. Williams was open for a second. Instead, it's Kaminsky, and an offensive foul. She drove in and found an open Day. Second on Kaminsky, both of them offensive fouls. Now Kelsey Jones in the game, a 5'7" grad student out of Lafayette Hill, Pennsylvania. 1 point game, Griffins on top as we're now past the midway point of the second quarter. Lob down low for Wild Goose in traffic. It's out of bounds off of Jefferson West as Wild Goose was doubled. Tamaz will inbound. And for Wild Goose, and she'll swing it for Glenn, left wing, 16 to shoot. As Glenn holds, drives right, kicks back out Gibson, right back for Glenn. Wild Goose calling for it down low, doesn't get it, skip past corner, Gibson to 3. And it got stuck on the side of the backboard. That's always an interesting one. Now they have to get it down, which in the women's game is always more complicated than in the men's game. And there we go. I had to get one of the brushes that they use to wipe up sweat off the floor and poke it down. Gibson will sit. Trossi back in. Griffins will press. And now Trossi backs off. Jones holds. Now it's Mayer around the screen. Back for Day, a 3. A lot of contact down low, and it'll be a foul, but before the shot. The official's talking it over. It's on to Maz, but it is before the shot. It's the first on the Griffins and the first on to Maz. Basket is waved off. Day hit the 3. Day will inbound. 30 to shoot for Jefferson. Does so all the way almost to the midcourt line for Jones, who will walk it back up. Mayer holds a left wing, nearly double dribbled as she worked to her right. Williams left wing into the lane, lightning quick, and she was fouled before the shot again. It's on Glenn. Second on Glenn, and second on the Griffins. Now Gibson into the game. Glenn will sit. They don't want her to pick up number 3. 4:15 to go in the second quarter, 22 to 21. Pace has kind of ground to a halt the last couple of minutes. Day, long inbound to Williams. Between the circles, she'll set up shop. Into the corner, open Day. Got it. Rachel Day got free in a shuffle down low and popped into the corner for an open three. 2-point game. Jefferson back on top, under 4 to play in the second quarter. And a foul as Trossi drove to the hoop. Mike West irate that Rachel Day ended up that open. On that open look in the corner a moment ago, still yelling at his team for that as Trossi goes to the line for 2 free throws. Mary Trossi has struggled from the line most of the year, a little bit over 58%, but as she hits the first. In the last game against Bloomfield, perhaps turned the corner. 14 points, but 8 for 8 from the line. Gets a pair that time, so she's 10 for her last 10. That's definitely a good sign for the Griffins as they tied up at 24. On those 2 free throws, the first points of the game for Trossi, a 3-mare, too strong from the corner. Rebound to Maz, took it away from Day. Here's Tamaz looking to run. Gibson left wing. Back for Tamaz, shot fake, works right, handoff Seabold between the circles. 18 to shoot, Wild Goose, left block inside, got it to go with the left. Off glass, Jada Wild Goose. 26 to 24, Griffins back on top. As we come up on 3 to play in the second quarter. Williams holds, left wing, crosses over on Trossi, back to the basket. Now Day, 18 feet away, short left corner, steps back, that's a 2, got it. Rachel Day has been hot in this game. She's hit 2 shots from that corner. 1 of 2, 1 of 3. Inside, Wild Goose, got it to go. On the feed from Trossi. And a timeout taken by Tom Shirley. And Jefferson, it's a 28 to 26 game, 2:54 to go in the second quarter. And a back and forth affair thus far.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember to visit the official restaurant of Griffin Nation. It's just a short trip down Germantown Pike to Birmingham's Pub in Lafayette Hill. Join us today after the game.
Back here inside Sorgenti Arena. 28 to 26, Griffins on top. 2:54 to go in the second quarter in a matchup between 2 of the top teams in the CACC South. Jefferson ball out of the timeout. It's Jones. With Seabold on her. Jones spins across the timeline. And will set up shop with 18 on the clock. And off up high for Williams. She crosses over, left of the lane, forces it up, off left, gets her own miss across the lane, kicks back out, an open look Mayer. Got it. Set up by Williams, who missed the initial shot, got her own miss, and then picked up the assist. Jefferson back on top by 1. Tamaz, top of the key jumper, rattles out. Wild Goose, the putback, she was fouled. Wild Goose back to the line. Wild Goose has 12 to lead all scorers, the only player in the game in double figures so far. Glenn has 7, as does Tamaz. And that's pretty much it for the Griffins. After that, Trossi has 2, and everybody else still on a goose egg as Wild Goose ties it up on the first free throw. Aguntouche and Cunningham back in the game. Mayer leads Jefferson with 9, followed by Day with 7. Second rattles out from Wild Goose. Rebound for Aguntouche. Here's Cunningham with Seabold on her. Williams will back out to the logo with 20 to shoot as we come up on 2 to play in the second quarter. Day again in the left corner. She's been hot from there. Offensive foul on Aguntouche, who's barely played, but in her brief time has picked up 2 offensive fouls. 1 a charge, 1 an illegal screen. And Tom Shirley does not look very happy. 1:59 to play in the second quarter. It's Trossi jogging up court. Let's get past Tamaz, too tall for her, loose ball, and here comes Cunningham. Cunningham with Tamaz back, attacks, no good with the right, tipped underneath. Williams came away with it, and she was fouled. So Williams again at 5'2", picking up offensive boards. That went on to Maz, her second, so now she'll sit. Rachel Milan in, and Williams for her efforts. Got a nice hand from the fairly large Jefferson contingent here. Jefferson not very far away, so that's not really a shock that they made the trip. Not a shooting foul. So Jefferson has 25 to shoot. It's Williams with Gibson on her. 1:35 on the clock in the second quarter. Cunningham, Aguntuashe calling for it down low. Now she has it, right block, working on Wild Goose, and she traveled. So this has been an inauspicious couple of minutes for Iola Aguntuashe. He's turned it over twice and picked up 2 fouls in about 3 minutes of action. Trossi. Kick back out for Gibson. Seaball, the left wing into the corner. Trossi, quick ball movement, Milan, and she traveled. Two teams trading turnovers here. 1:14 to play in the second quarter. 29 all. Williams with Trossi on her. She glances at the sideline for the play call from Tom Shirley. Cunningham has it, right wing, fires away, got it. Rainbow 3 from Cunningham, her first points of the game, 3-point game. Jefferson on top, under a minute to play in the second quarter. Down low, Wild Goose, extra look inside, Milan, got it to go, high off glass. And that is, in fact, the first collegiate points for Rachel Milan. So congratulations to her. It's a 1-point game. Mayer lines it up. Book it. Mayer wide open, straight on. She's been hot, as has Day. 4-point game. Jefferson on top. Seabald right wing. About a 1.5 difference between shot and game clock. Short right corner, Trossi. Got it. 18 feet away, Mary Trossi. 2-point game. 15 on the clock. Jefferson can hold for the final shot of the opening half. Day on the run in the lane, and a foul called here. Let's see which way it goes. It is on Trossi. No, they're calling the other way. Okay. Officials did not really make a signal, but the Griffins bench stood up as if it was an offensive foul. 7.2 to shoot. The Griffins will have the final shot here, and they can tie it with a 2. Here's Trossi, 4 on the clock. Trossi. Handoff Seaball, but Day took it away, and Day will not get that up in time. It's pretty close, though. It was a little bit off to the left, but it did graze rim from 45 feet on the run. So that is how the opening half will end. It's a 35-33 game. Jefferson on top of Chestnut Hill in a back-and-forth affair. And now at halftime, we will dim the lights and honor the Chestnut Hill champion tennis team. They will be honored one at a time here during halftime, and we will have that on for the video. We'll keep the stream going for that, so be sure to stay tuned for that coming up in just a moment. It'll be a nice little 5-minute trophy presentation.
2017 CACC Men's Tennis Rookie of the Year, Antoine Gauthier, as well as all CACC first team selections Felix Andre and Jonathan Dupertot. The Griffins captured the college's first ever CACC championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Chestnut Hill College Director of Athletics and Recreation, Lynn Tubman, will now offer her comments on the 2016-2017 championship season and will introduce the members of the 2017 Chestnut Hill College men's tennis team.
Good evening. It is my honor and my pleasure to formally recognize the 2017 men's tennis team as Chestnut Hill College's first NCAA Division II Conference champion. Since Chestnut Hill's acceptance into the NCAA Division II in the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference, we have had numerous playoff teams, numerous all-conference honors, and quickly became a respected and competitive member of the CACC. However, a conference championship eluded us until last spring, when our men's tennis team defeated Post University to make history. I would be remiss if I did not recognize the hard work and dedication of the previous student athletes and coaches who established our program as one of the institution's most successful. I want to personally thank former head coach Albert Strobel and former assistant coach and current interim head coach Andrew Silverman for building the foundation for our championship team. In addition, I am excited for the future of men's tennis and want to recognize the new members of the tennis team. You will be instrumental in continuing the program's success and defending our conference championship. At this time, I invite former head coach Ryan Gargulio and assistant coach Robert D. Young to join me to present the team with their jackets.
First off, I want to thank everybody here to join us in this historic moment in Chestnut Hill Athletics. I'd like to first acknowledge all the members who could not be with us tonight, including assistant coach Julia Cohen, the title finisher Victor Io, our #1 ranked singles and doubles Pierre Collier, and our former senior Pedro Oranges. Now, if the following members of the 2017 team please join me when your name is called. Captain Jonathan Dupertot. Co-captain Lucas Bocoletto. Regionally ranked Felix Andre. CACC Rookie of the Year, Antoine Gauthier. And round out our powerhouse doubles tandem, Pedro Pistagato Real.
And again, congratulations to our 2017 men's tennis team.
So that was Lucas Bocoletto, Jonathan Dupertot, Antoine Gauthier, and Pedro Festugato Regalan getting honored there. The CACC champion men's tennis team being introduced by their coaches Ryan Gargullo and Robert De Leon. Congratulations to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the statistics for the first half of tonight's first game of the doubleheader. First, for Jefferson, their leading scorer with 12 points is number 20, Aaron Mayer. Number 4, Alina Williams has 2 points. Number 5, Jessica Kaminsky has 5. Number 21, Rachel Day has 7 points. Number 24, Beverly Kuhn has 6. And number 1, Caitlin Cunningham has 3 points. In the half, Jefferson shot 41.4% from the floor. They were 6 of 16 from three-point distance and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. For Jefferson, Chestnut Hill leading all scorers with 13 points. Number 32, Jacob Wildgoose. Number 2, Mary Trossi has 4 points. Number 22, Vicky Tomas has 7. Number 42, Shannon Glenn has 7 points. And number 24, Rachel Milan has 2. The Griffin shot 36.7% from the field. They were 3 of 8 from three-point range and 8 for 10 from the free throw line. A reminder, there is food and drink available for purchase outside of Sorgetti Arena, but due to college regulations, you are not permitted to bring beverages or food into the arena. Again, we want to welcome the ESF Summer Camp staff who are on hand this evening. We'll be looking for campers. Sign up today for a summer of fun with ESF, the registration table, which is located in the entranceway to Sorgetti Arena. We also remind you that women's basketball is selling 50-50 raffle tickets and t-shirts at the table just inside Sorgetti Arena.
think I do remember just sitting there, so I guess maybe somebody else. Back here inside Sorgenti Arena, Ricky Sobrano here with you for the start of the third quarter between the Chestnut Hill Women and the Jefferson Women. It's a 35-33 game. Jefferson on top. 9 ties in the opening half and 5 lead changes, so it's been very much a back-and-forth affair. It'll be Griffin's ball to begin the third quarter as they have the first possession. Jada Wildgoose leads all scorers with 13. Erin Mayer right on her heels with 12 for Jefferson. Everybody else in single digits for both teams. The Griffins go with Glenn, who will inbound far side midcourt. Trossi, who has it now, Gibson, Wildgoose, and Tomas. Jefferson, same 5 as well. That pass tipped. Wildgoose corrals top of the key. Tomas with the head of steam kicks for Gibson. Top of the key jumper. Off left. Coombe soars for the board. Hands off for Williams. She's out there with Kaminsky. Day, who steps back and fires now and puts it home. Beg your pardon, that was Mayer. From 18 feet away, Mayer puts it in. First points of the third quarter. And the fifth lady out there is Day for Jefferson. Jefferson in the blue. Griffins in the gold as Glenn turns that one over. Here's Williams looking to run, but the Griffins get back. Williams skip past Day. Not quite a minute into the third quarter as Coombe faces up on Tomas, kicks back out, well defended. Coombe will try it again. Right block goes up with the left. Doesn't get the roll. Gets her own miss, though. And a foul on Day. Third on Coombe. But Tom Shirley will stick with her. Seabold in for Glenn. Tom Shirley, after 29 years, you got to love that he still takes it so hard. Just did a little hop, skip, and a jump when Coombe picked up that third foul because he knows that's a big one. One of his main players, and they're not as deep at forward as they are at guard, is Jefferson. One of the better rebounding teams. In fact, the best rebounding team in conference. Here's Gibson, handoff Trossi, top of the key, crosses over free throw line, fouled. From behind on Mayer. No, they'll call it on Williams instead. It was Mayer who went for the block from behind. Williams gets the block, though. Could have really called it on either one. So Trossi back to the line. Hits the first. Mary Trossi, 2 points. I beg your pardon, 4 points. Did make it 2 at the end of the opening half. But now 3 for 3 from the line, more importantly, which is a very, very good sign. Make it 4 for 4. So she's 12 for her last 12 from the line is Trossi. And she had struggled really at about the 55% mark for most of the year. 2-point game. Here's a 3, Mayer. Got it. Erin Mayer lights out from deep, 41%. And that's only going up after this game. She has been on fire. Kicks in the corner. Seabold, a 3. Rims out. 5-point game. Jefferson on top. Here's Day driving baseline on Tomas. A floater with the right. Offensive foul. Griffins have drawn quite a few offensive fouls in this one. That's part of the reason why they're winning the turnover battle right now. But Jefferson starting to light it up from deep. They've made now 7 threes, 7 of 17. Griffins only 3 of 8, and they, generally speaking, out-attempt and out-make their opponents. So this has been an odd one so far. Not really following the script. Tomas rejected inside by Mayer. Rebound Kaminsky. Kaminsky looking to push. Extra pass day of 3. Too short. Rebound Trossi. Trossi on the run. Mike Weston pouring his team to run. Seabold thought about it with the left hand. Kicks back out. Gibson to 3. Got it. Kaylee Gibson. Her first triple of the game. 2-point game. See if that gets the Griffins going from downtown. Griffins just 11 of 30 from the field in the opening half. 8 of 10 from the line. That really kept them tight. Here's a 3 Williams. Way off to the left. You can see it right out of her hand. It's out of bounds underneath, and it goes to the Griffins. Tomas sits. So does Wild Goose. Graham in, as is Glenn. 2-point game, not quite 3 minutes into the third quarter. It's been a back and forth affair so far. Very tight throughout. Trossi kicks into the corner. Gibson was open, but the pass was too low. She saves it, though. Glenn shot fake up top. And off Trossi over to the right wing, 18 feet away, and a travel on Seabold. She tried to catch and then take off. Coombe back in with those 3 fouls. They'll play a little defense through offense here as Aguntuashe was in for a moment. Now as Jefferson goes on attack, we'll see Coombe. Cunningham in as well. Here's Mayer, holds, hits a cutting Coombe down low, rises, no good, off left, gets her own miss, and gets it to go again. Coombe playing volleyball off the backboard, and it's a 4-point game. Trossi turns the corner, no look for Graham, and she lays it home. Beautiful play by Trossi, leading to the easy deuce for Graham. 2-point game again. Williams holds left wing. They'll post up. Coombe drives right, kicks back out. Well defended by Graham. Kaminsky will reset between the circles. 15 to shoot. Kaminsky backs out right side, 40 feet away. 10 on the clock. Running start. Crosses over. Steps back. Now attacks and got it to go on the runner from 6 left of the hoop. Kaminsky is not a 3-point shooter. She gets her points exclusively inside. She has not made a 3 this season. Glenn a 3. Got it. 1-point game as Shannon Glenn connects again. And a timeout taken here. 5:42 to go. In the third quarter, Griffins trail by 1.
Master your future at our School of Graduate Studies. The career you deserve is waiting for you at Chestnut Hill College. Chestnut Hill College upholds a long tradition of academic excellence that can help you turn your knowledge, skills, and experience into a career full of purpose. We offer a variety of master's degree programs, certifications, and certificates in the administration of human services, education, clinical and counseling psychology, and instructional technology, as well as an APA-accredited doctoral program in clinical psychology. For more information, visit www.chc.edu/graduate.
Back here inside Sorgenti Arena, Ricky Sobrano here with you. 44-43 game, 5:40 on an hour running clock. In the third quarter, the Griffins trail. It's Kaminsky, right side, 40 feet away, 20 on the shot clock. Walks it over to the left wing, now a 2 on the way, rims out from 18. There was just nobody near her. Again, she's not a shooter, but couldn't pass up that look. Tomas into the corner. Gibson drives baseline, goes with the right, doesn't get the roll. Wild Goose, no good on the follow. Tipped out. Glenn straight on. Thought about it again. Crosses over, drives inside, no good with the left. Scoop shot, tipped out of bounds near side, and it stays with the Griffins. Glenn just made a 3, and she took a long, hard look and thought about taking that straight on look on the long rebound. Passed it up, but it stays with the Griffins anyway. Fresh 30 for Chestnut Hill. Tomas trying to get open. Instead, it's inside Gibson. Back out Glenn a 3. Book it. Shannon Glenn puts the Griffins back on top, 46-44. Under 5 to play past the midway point of the third. The Griffins trying to get a measure of revenge as they lost to Jefferson on the road in December in overtime. Still a lot of game left, though. Cunningham holds, 14 on the clock. Straight on Aguntuashe, giving her plenty of cushion as Wild Goose. Kaminsky Up top, running start. Steps back from the elbow. Got it. Griffin's giving Kaminsky a lot of cushion, but she can hit from mid-range, just not a three-point shooter. Tied up at 46. 4:15 to go. In the third quarter, Wild Goose faces up, kicks for Tamaz. In and out from the left wing in three. Rebound for Mayer. And Jefferson. Now it's Kaminsky. Crosses over on Gibson. Kicks a three on the way. Cunningham too short on the line drive. Rebound for Gibson. Seabold, as her headband fell down around her neck. That can't be comfortable, but it doesn't matter as she hits a running layup anyway. Seabold, her first points of the game, and that puts the Griffins back on top, 48-46. Kaminsky crosses over in the lane, no good with the left, off the side of the backboard. Rebound Wild Goose, handoff for Seabold. Into the corner, Glenn, she holds. Drives right with the right hand, across the lane, lost the handle. Tamaz picks it up, attacks, and a travel. Milan, Graham, and Trossi back in. Coombe will check in for Jefferson, as again with the 3 fouls. Tom Shirley trying to protect her on any offensive possession. She'll come in. And then if Jefferson is on D and there's a whistle, Oguntuashe will come in to try to protect Coombe. She has it, free throw line, faces up on Milan, hop step, and she was fouled. Ball got stuck between the hoop and the backboard. That's the second time that's happened in this game. Fouls on Milan. Has anybody seen a black cat? I don't think I've ever seen that happen twice in one game. This time the shot didn't count anyway because of the foul. Coombe back at the line drive attempt no good. One more to come. Coombe averaging just under 11 and 7 this year. And now she'll sit as she splits that pair. Oguntuashe back in. 1 point game. Griffins on top. 3:08 to go. In the third quarter, Trossi turns the corner. No good on the layup. Ended up airballing it just over the rim. Kaminsky into the corner. It's Cunningham. Williams up top, down low Oguntuashe. Quick ball movement here, right back Oguntuashe. Right block, backs in, no good. Freed herself up, gets her own miss, rims out the second, tipped out. Trossi corrals in the lane. Now Trossi looking to run, 3-on-2 for the Griffins if they hurry. Hand off to Maz, now Glenn, 25 feet away, off to the left on the rainbow. And it dribbles out of bounds on the baseline. And will go to Jefferson. Milan sits, Wild Goose back in. Williams will sit as well for Jefferson. She's been in really for most of the game, doing most of the ball handling. Rachel Day back in. She's shot the ball well, as Day. 3 of 8. Cunningham walking it up court. They have Kaminsky around a screen, left wing, crosses over on Graham, pick and pop with Mayer. Short right corner, it's Day facing up Coombe in the lane, in and out from the restricted area. Out of bounds underneath. It was off of Day last. Oguntuashe back in for defense as Coombe sits. For Jefferson, Tom Shirley. Head in his hands right now on the bench. He's not happy with that offensive possession. Here's Seabold straight on. Cut off, and she'll back out to the right wing. Crosses over. Will try the other way. Inside, a cutting to Maz. Travel. Second travel on to Maz as she had a tough time handling that pass cleanly. Coombe back in yet again. Because with all these whistles, that's allowing Tom Shirley to do exactly what he wants. And that is play defense to offense with Kuhn and Oguntuashe. Left wing Kaminsky, she holds Coombe. Got it to go. Straight on, 12 feet away, about a step in front of the free throw line. 49-48 game. Jefferson back on top as the two teams continue to trade leads. Glenn got it to go on the sweeping layup. Right of the hoop. 1 point game, Griffins back on top. Glenn now has 15 as she's taken over the team high in scoring. From Wild Goose, Erin Mayer has 17 to lead all scorers. Kaminsky, top of the key, crosses over, kicks back out. Cunningham on the run inside Kaminsky. She was fouled left of the hoop. That will send Kaminsky to the line. Second team foul on the Griffins. Tamaj trots to the bench to grab a sip of Gatorade. It's actually pretty hot in here today, which is out of the ordinary. This is usually a pretty chilly. I don't want to say chilly, but definitely not too warm or humid gym. But today it's kind of hot. In and out on the first from Kaminsky. Kaminsky can tie it up if she hits the second. And she does just that. Now Oguntuashe back in the game for Jefferson. Coombe will sit. Oguntuashe in the first game against Chestnut Hill on December 5th had a career-high 15 points. Not as successful today. Wild Goose, well defended by Oguntuashe. That rims out. Rebound Day and Jefferson. Kaminsky crossing over on Tross. He kicks for Day. Shot fake right wing. Tamaz stays with her. Under a minute to play in the third quarter. And Cunningham will reset with Seabold on her. Between the circles. She works right now. Kaminsky, 10 on the clock. Top of the key. Kaminsky still working left. 8 on the clock. Day shot fake. Deep left wing. Works right. Cunningham attacks from 12. No good from the right wing. But Kaminsky comes away with the offensive board. About a second and a half difference between shot and game clock. And it looks like Jefferson will run this down 50-50. We're tied up. Now under 20 to play in the third quarter. Kaminsky, right wing, 18 feet away, drives left, and she was fouled by Trossi. Shot would not go on the runner as she attacked across the lane. That will give the Griffins 13.4 seconds to shoot. Pending these free throws. Kaminsky rattles that one home. Kelsey Jones back in. Rachel Day will sit for the final defensive possession for Jefferson. 1 point game. Jefferson on top. Kaminsky looking to make it 2. Second good as well. 52-50. 13.4 to go in the third quarter. Jefferson showing a press here. 10 on the clock. Trossi. 6 on the clock. Now to Maz. Down to a Wild Goose. 4 to shoot. Goes back up over her right shoulder and gets to the go off the window. And that is how the third quarter will end as Wild Goose finishes through the double team and ties it up at 52. We'll take a break and be right back here for the start of the fourth in a couple of moments. 52 all. Griffins and Rams tied up.
Looking to take time out for a snack? The Griffin's Den is an a la carte cafe located on the ground floor of Fournier Hall. Stop by to check out the many food and beverage options to enjoy while watching the game in Sorgeni Arena. You can quench your thirst with a water or Gatorade and satisfy your appetite with anything ranging from a soft pretzel to a slice of pizza to a sandwich. Brought to you by Chartwells, who reminds you to eat, learn, live.
Back here inside Sorgenti Arena for the start of the fourth quarter between Chestnut Hill and Jefferson, game 1 of our doubleheader. And it's been a good one so far. 12 ties and 9 lead changes. We're going to expect anything else from 2 of the top teams in the conference as the women go at it in game 1. Jefferson now up to 40% from the field. Griffins 38.3%, 6 of 14 from deep. Jefferson 7 of 20. Numbers really very tight throughout. And one area where we thought Jefferson would have a large advantage is the rebounding advantage. It's been tight. Only a difference of 1 offensive board. Coombe from 8, and she puts it home. Coombe soft touch. First points of the fourth belong to Jefferson. They're back on top by 2. Here's Seabold inside Wild Goose in traffic, no good. Too short. Rebound Coombe. Here's Cunningham looking to push. Cunningham for Day. Short right corner. Skip pass. Now Day at 3. Too strong on the line drive. She's now 1 of 6 from deep. Rebound Tomas in the lane, and that was stolen by Day. Day one-on-one with Tomas. Crosses over off of Tomas's foot. And here's Seabold. Seabold up ahead for Trossi. Coombe trailing. Got it to go. Through the contest of Coombe, who did a nice job to get back without fouling. But Trossi able to lay it in and tie it up. 54 all. Jefferson in the blue. Chestnut Hill in the gold. Kaminsky holds. Just over a minute into the fourth quarter. Cunningham, now Kaminsky right wing, 10 to shoot. Kaminsky trots it back to the middle of the floor. Running start, left of the lane. She was fouled. It's on Seabold. Seabold, nice job to tie up Kaminsky to keep her from even getting up that shot. So she'll go to the line, and there was no real threat for a three-point play. Kaminsky's been to the line quite a bit in this game. Rattles home that one. Now 5 of 7 from the charity stripe. Seabold will sit. Seabold's been quiet, only 2 points. Does have 5 assists, though. 5 assists leads the Griffins. Kaminsky rattles home that second one. Aguntuashe back in as Tom Shirley and Jefferson continue to play defense to offense with Coombe and Aguntuashe. Jefferson showing a trap, and it forced Glenn to travel. Jefferson hasn't pressed much in this game, and that was really more of a mid-court trap. But in either event, it works there as Glenn turns it over. 2-point game, 8:40 to go. In the fourth quarter, the Griffins trying to get some revenge as they fell to this Jefferson team in overtime back in December. Griffins in third place in the CACC South. Cunningham at 3, too strong. Rebound in the lane for Trossi. Trossi looking to push, leaves it for Glenn. Well defended, though, by Day. And Griffins will have to reset. Tomas, short left corner, Trossi underneath, kicks back out. Gibson, skip past Tomas. That's a dangerous one. Back for Trossi, short left corner. 12 to shoot. Glenn a 3. Got it. Through the contest of Day, Shannon Glenn has been hot. Now 5 of 7 from deep. Puts the Griffins back on top by 1. Under 8 to play in the fourth. Here's a 3 Mayer. Too strong, high rebound. Cunningham soars for it. And she was fouled. Haven't said whether they count the shot or not. Officials are trying to figure this one out. They score the basket, and one more to come for Cunningham. Officials just did not signal anything. And they're still talking it over. They haven't put the points on the board yet. Katie Cunningham gives Jefferson the lead as they officially announce it now, 58 to 57. One more to come. Cunningham had a career-high 24 off the bench versus the Griffins in December as she converts that three-point play. And that's more than double, or actually it's exactly double her next highest career output, which is, as you guessed it, 12 points. But she's been quiet up until now. 2-point game, Jefferson back on top. Inside, a cutting Graham gets the roll with the left hand. Tie game. Kaminsky crosses over, drives diagonally across the lane, back out. Now it's Mayer, and Cunningham will reset. She'll walk it over to the right wing, 20 on the clock. Cutting Kaminsky down low, doesn't get the roll on the nice feed from Day. Aguntuashe fouled on the putback. So it was, in game one between these two teams, it was two unsung heroes, Cunningham and Aguntuashe, that led Jefferson to victory, and they're showing up these last couple of minutes. Guntuashe gets the roll and gives Jefferson the lead. She's holding 36.4% from the line. Trossi sits. Sebald back in. Mike West imploring Trossi that she must box out on every play, so obviously aware that this is the top rebounding team in the conference. Now Day sits. Jones in for defense. 61 of 59 as Guntuashe hits both. Jefferson back on top. Not quite 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Looks like Jefferson going to a loose zone here, changing it up. Tamaz a three, straight on, too strong from 23. Gibson takes it away at the free throw line. Glenn, too strong from deep. Rebound Kaminsky as she took it away from Tamaz. Kaminsky on the run. And off for Jones, and she'll slow it down. 20 on the clock, walking it to the middle of the floor. Hand off Cunningham, 15 to shoot. Guntuashe right wing. Kaminsky, now Mayer, deep left wing, 10 to shoot. Cunningham trying to free her up. Down low, Guntuashe, left block, turns and can't finish, off to the right. Well defended by Graham. Griffins can tie or take the lead here, 2-point game. Ball pass down low, Gibson with the right, no good. Wild shot off glass. Did not touch rim on the feed from Sebald. Kaminsky, handoff, a three, Mayer. Book it. Erin Mayer, a game-high 20 points, and she's been hot from deep. 5-point game. Jefferson on top as we come up on 6 to play in the fourth. Glenn holds, and she was fouled by Jones on the perimeter. Wild Goose and Trossi will check in now for the Griffins. Graham and Tamaz will sit. Trossi will inbound left of the hoop. Day back in. Jones will sit. Into the corner, Sebald. Works right. Cassie Sebald has been reasonably quiet in this game. Wild Goose faces up, spins, and got it to go with the left. Put a Guntuashe in the spin cycle and finished. 3-point game. Day up ahead. Sebald got back and avoided the easy two at least. So we see Chestnut Hill frequently run off of a made bucket. That time Jefferson doing the same thing as Day leaked out. And Sebald, good job by her to get back. Day makes it a 2-possession game. Day now has 8. Started off hot, but now just 3 of 9 from the field, 1 of 6 from deep. But hits a pair that time, 5-point game. Day will sit. Jones back in, so again, that's a little defense to offense from Tom Shirley. Under 6 to play in the fourth. Glenn holds, deep right wing, 20 to shoot. Wild Goose. Now Trossi left wing. 16 to shoot. Into the corner, Gibson lines it up. In and out from 3, rebound to Guntuashe. And here's Cunningham, near side, looking to push. Trossi gets back inside, tipped and stolen nearly, but Cunningham recovered. Otherwise, Trossi would have been going the other way. Now Jones. It's Kaminsky, head of steam at the free throw line, crosses over. Mayer drives right from the left wing, step back, but she traveled. It was a nice move. Unfortunately for Mayer, it wasn't legal. 5-point game, 5:08 to go in the fourth quarter. Glenn with a head of steam across the timeline. Handoff for Gibson up high. 22 to shoot. Glenn works left, trying to turn the corner, leaves it for Gibson. Skip past Sebald, lines it up. Too short, heavy contest by Mayer. Under 5 to play now in regulation. Jefferson on top by 5. Rachel Milan will check in at the next whistle. Jones holds 45 feet away with Sebald on her. Works right, handoff Kaminsky. She turns the corner at the elbow. Doesn't get the roll. On the good look, here's Seabold the other way for the Griffins. Traversing up court, Glenn crosses over. Hand off Gibson, 20 to shoot. Now Seabold. Griffins haven't scored in a while. That lob pass down low is tipped out of bounds by Kaminsky, intended for Trossi. Now here comes Rachel Milan as Glenn will sit. Glenn a game high, or team high 18. Wild Goose 17, but those are the only two Griffins in double figures. Seabold in for Wild Goose. Baseline, she pulls up, got it to go. Caught it 16 feet away, took a step to her left, and pulled up. To make it a one-possession game, 3-point game, Griffins trail. Jones the other way. Over to the right wing with Seabold all over her, now under 4 to play. Oguntuashe calling for it down low, and she finishes with Wild Goose on her back. Just backed Wild Goose all the way in, and then finished right in front of the cup. 5-point game. Trossi dribbles right underneath the hoop, back out the other way. Gibson straight on. Down low, Wild Goose, hop step inside, got it to go through the contact, and she's going to the line for one more. So Wild Goose that time gets the best of Oguntuashe after Oguntuashe just scored on her. 3-point game, Wild Goose to the line for one more. Tamaz back in, Milan will sit. Gibson sits as well as Glenn is back in. 3:39 to go in the fourth quarter, 3-point game. Tom Shirley asking who the foul is on. And now we've got an issue with the substitutions, it looks like. Whereas, let's see, did Cassie Seabold lose a contact perhaps? Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, they've got the gloves on. She had a water bottle. Looks like she's trying to lubricate contact or something along those lines. Might have gotten poked in the eye. It's either that or a cut. Can't tell if there's anything in her hand or not. So that's what the delay is about now. Either way, she'll have to sit for a moment so they can take care of whatever the issue is. Looks like she's going to go back towards the locker room, so I think it might be a contact. Gibson in for Seabold. Wild Goose to the line for one more. 3:39 to go in regulation. Wild Goose makes it a 2-point game. She now has 20. Kaminsky will walk it up court for Jefferson. Jefferson in the blue, Chestnut Hill in the gold. Kaminsky right wing, she'll hold, 18 on the clock. Has it right back from Day. 14 to shoot, into the lane, Kaminsky. And that's a double dribble. Kind of fumbled it as she drove across the lane. And now the Griffins can tie with a 2 or take the lead with a 3. Glenn with a head of steam. Cunningham watching her closely. Picks up her dribble, looking for help. Gets it for Wild Goose. 18 to shoot, back for Glenn, left wing. Down low, Wild Goose. That's tipped out of bounds by Coombe on the entry feed from Gibson. And it stays with the Griffins. Trossi to inbound. Here's Glenn, right corner shot, fake, works left, picks up her dribble at the elbow, back out Wild Goose, 14 to shoot, Glenn lines it up. Too short, good look though, rebound for Coombe, and she was fouled by Wild Goose. Number 1 on Wild Goose, so that's nothing to worry about at least for the Griffins. But it is their 15th foul, which is something to worry about because it will send Coombe to the line. So Jefferson shooting the rest of the way. And Coombe today, 5 of 6 from the line, so not the girl that you want to put at the line. Under 3 to play, 2:57 to be exact. 68 to 66. Jefferson on top, and the officials again talking this one over. Cassie Seabold is back out of the locker room, so she will come back in. And it looks like she just might have had a little cut on her hand because she has a bandage on her left hand now. Officials having a discussion with the official score about the game clock and shot clock. So maybe an issue with it starting too early or too late. But it doesn't look like they're putting more time or taking any time off the clock. Okay, they did put 2 seconds on, which the Griffins will not complain about because they're down right now. In either event, Coombe to the line because that is the Griffins' 5th foul. That much we're sure of. Coombe at the line. Hits the first. One of the officials still talking the official scorer, and Mike West not happy about that, and he's right for that matter. When the official is having a discussion, ball shouldn't be in play. Coombe hits both, though. Now Seabold back in. Gibson sits. 4-point game, back to a 2-possession game. And now a timeout taken by Jefferson and Tom Shirley in a 70-66 game. 2:59 to play in regulation.
Looking for some food and drink after tonight's game? Join us at Brittingham's Pub in Lafayette Hill, the official restaurant of Griffin Nation, where you can enjoy all your pub favorites with your choice of 50 seasonal and craft beers.
Griffins down 70-66. 2:59 on the clock in the 4th quarter to Jefferson. First place Jefferson. Jefferson tied with U Sciences at 9-1 in the CACC South. Griffins 8-2. There was a 3-way tie there before the Griffins fell to Bloomfield their last time out. So Chestnut Hill trying to stay in conversation for first place, and as a result, for a home playoff game. So if they finished in one of the first 2 spots, they would host a playoff game. Again, assuming they make it, but they would put themselves in position for it. 2:52 to go on a running clock. Griffin's ball. Seabold thought about it. Left corner, works right. She has that bandage on her left hand from an earlier cut. 15 on the clock. Glenn holds. Jefferson in a zone. It's given the Griffins issues. Tamaza 3. Too short. Rebound. Tipped out of bounds by Seabold. And it goes to Jefferson as she soared in and swatted it away from there. So that's been the adjustment, and it has affected the Griffins, who have not been as sharp offensively since Jefferson went zone. Griffins have been man-to-man all game. Kaminsky, right wing. 16 to shoot. They'll post up Coombe. Going out Wild Goose. Gets the roll. Coombe, a little taller than Wild Goose and long arms and lanky, was able to elevate over her. 6-point game. This is the largest lead for either team in a long, long time, and that's the 3rd ball that we've had stuck on the side of the backboard today. That is amazing on that 3 from Seabold. I said it when it happened a 2nd time. I've never seen it happen 2 times in a game. I definitely haven't seen it happen 3 times in a game. Griffins are lining up like it's their ball, so was it slightly tipped perhaps? Not sure. Wild Goose no good. On the follow again, it's still loose on the floor, and coming away with it is Cunningham and Jefferson. Cunningham will slow it down, under 2 to play now, as Jefferson will be in no rush, nursing a 6-point lead. 1:48 on the clock. Stay. Coombe around the screen, right wing, 18 feet away. Jab step on Wild Goose, works left, picks up her dribble, kicks back out. Cunningham will back out. Right side, 8 on the clock, hops back to the middle of the floor. Trossi on her, 4 on the clock. Jacks a 2. 2 short, long rebound, and it goes right to Cunningham. Tamaz had it for a moment, but tipped it a bit too far. And it's right to Cunningham. That one hurts. Griffin's starting to run out of time. Need a stop here desperately. 1:15 on the clock, 6-point game. Cunningham being hounded by Seabold. 10 on the clock. 1:07 on the game clock. Now Kaminsky crosses over on Seabold, nearly stripped from behind, and it goes to the Griffins. Nice D by Glenn to reach in and force Kaminsky to lose it. 1:02 to go in the fourth. Now under a minute on a running clock. Griffins down by 6. Trossi handoff Glenn. She's been hot. Wild Goose calling for it down low. Seabold thought about it. 20 to shoot. Griffins have to get moving. Trossi. Wild Goose battling Coombe down low. Tamaz a 3. Got it. Big 3, Vicky Tamaz. She's been quiet. Now it's a one-possession game and a 3-point game. Timeout taken. That's a big one by Vicky Tamaz. 46.6 on the clock. Now a 3-point game. She had been very quiet. Was Tamaz, only 7 points on 2 of 10 from the field. Now give her 10, so she's the third Griffin in double figures. And that possession looked to be going nowhere. As Wild Goose was calling for it down low, was battling with Coombe, never got it. And the Griffins doing a lot of dribbling, letting a lot of time come off the clock. But they get the 3. Now if they get a stop, they would be able to tie it with a 3 or go for the quick 2 and turn it into a game of fouls. .6 on the game clock. Griffins trying to get some revenge for an earlier overtime loss this season to Jefferson. Jefferson on a 9-game, or rather 4-game winning streak. Haven't lost in regulation since November. Last loss was to U Sciences in overtime in the beginning of January. Kaminsky to inbound in the front court. It's Day, and she'll hand off back for Kaminsky. Right side, 45 feet away. Jefferson will obviously be in no rush here. They will kill as much clock as possible. It's about a 16-second difference between shot and game clock. 12 on the shot clock. Cunningham, now Kaminsky. She'll get moving eventually here. 8 on the clock. Running start from the left wing. Over to the left corner. Kicks back out. Cunningham, a 3. Off left, long rebound. Glenn has it. And Mike West immediately takes a timeout. 15.6 on the game clock. 3-point game. Griffins trail. Chestnut Hill got exactly what they wanted there. Cunningham did not get a good look. The shot was way off. And now that Glenn secured the defensive rebound, Mike West can draw up the plan of attack here. Let's see what he goes with. 15.6 seconds. The Griffins could, if they wanted to, go for the quick 2 and then turn this into a foul game, or he could roll the dice and go for the 3. The Griffins 8 of 23 from downtown in the game, and they have Vicky Tamaz, who is 46.7% from deep and just hit one a moment ago. So you have to assume the play would be for her if it is a 3. If not her, then maybe Shannon Glenn, who's been hot, 5 of 9 from downtown for 18 points overall. Jefferson, pretty good from the line overall. Most of their starters in the 70s, if not even the 80s. So it wouldn't be a shock to see the Griffins go for the 3 here. Seabold will inbound in the offensive front court from the right of the Griffins bench, near side. 15.6 to go, 3-point game. Inbound is the Glenn. Handoff Seabold, 12 on the clock. Seabold trying to turn the corner, and she was fouled. 11.7 on the clock. Tom Shirley holds up his hand one more. That means that's one more foul to give before Chestnut Hill would be shooting. Glenn to inbound. Here's Seabold. Seabold turns the corner, and she was fouled on the way to the hoop. Now Tom Shirley waves his arm, saying no more fouls. 9.1 seconds now. Jefferson will play it out, and now the Griffins probably have to go for a 3 with 9.1 to go. 3-point game. Seabold to inbound, right of the hoop, in for Tamaz. Tamaz attacks And she was fouled on her way inside, 6.3 on the clock. So the Griffins still looking to go for the quick 2. They get it. And now Tamaz, who was very good from the line, 86.2%, to the line for 2. Tom Shirley even could have, since he was using the fouls they had to give. With it being a 3-point game, commit an intentional foul, and the Griffins can't tie it with free throws, but this ends up working out better for him because a couple seconds come off the clock as Tamaz drove inside. 2-point game, 1 more to come for Tamaz. Agun Tuashe in for rebounding purposes here as the Griffins will crash the boards. In case of a miss, but Tamaz hits. 1-point game, 6.3 to go. The Griffins will have to foul. But first, the timeout. 72-71, 6.3 to go. In regulation. Back and forth game. All game long, really. Largest lead of the game, 6 for Jefferson, 4 for the Griffins. It's been tight throughout. That 6-point lead, though, for Jefferson was with 2:20 to go in the fourth. Griffins did cut into that, now back to a 1-point game, but they'll need a couple misses here. It would certainly help from the charity stripe. But Jefferson has been excellent from the line today, 18 of 21. Really, both teams have. The Griffins 13 of 15. And they've got the shooters who can hit. Really, the weak point from the line is Kaminsky, who's a shade over 61. But even she is 6 of 8 from the line today. 6.3 on the clock. 72-71 game. Griffins trail. Kaminsky will inbound. Near sideline in front of her own bench. Griffins will need to foul immediately, and that's a foul even before the inbound. Tom Shirley saying it's intentional. I don't know about that because Williams is 88% from the line. If it's intentional, that's not the one you want to foul, but in either event, no time comes off the clock. So 6.3, the Griffins will have that much time. Williams hits the first. She can only make it a 3-point game. 73-71. Graham in for Siebold. That's to secure this rebound if Williams does miss. 1 more to come for Williams. 73-71. She hits that. 3-point game, 6.3 to go, and a timeout taken by Mike West. Let's see what he draws up. 74-71. Now the Griffins have to get a 3. Really don't have enough time to go for a quick 2. It's a full timeout, a minute timeout. So let's see what the plan is here. Odds are, needing a 3, it will either be for Tamaz, the leading scorer in the conference at 17 points per game and 46.7% from deep, but she's been a bit off today, just 3 of 11 from the field, 2 of 6 from deep for 12 points, but she has hit 2 free throws and made a 3 down the stretch, so perhaps heating up. Or Shannon Glenn would be the other likely option. 18 points in this one and 5 of 9 from downtown. So one of those two will likely be the option. As Cassie Siebold has had an off game from the field, 0 for 3 from downtown, 1 of 5 overall, just 2 points. Mary Trossi is not really a 3-point shooter. Those would be the other major players. And Jada Wildgoose, a post player, so doesn't really factor in the decision-making here. So the Griffins go with Gibson, Tamaz, Siebold, Glenn, and Wildgoose. Gibson will inbound. Near sideline to the right of her own bench. 6.3 left in the game. 74-71. The Griffins need a 3 to tie. Into the corner, Glenn. Shot fake. Fires away. Too short, long rebound. Gibson, Tamaz, rejected. And that'll do it. A lot of contact. Mike West has his arms out, asking for a foul. Jefferson celebrating like they've won. And that's it. No foul was called. Kuhn blocked the shot by Tamaz, the last second heave after the offensive board by Gibson. So the Griffins fall in heartbreaking fashion, 74-71 to Jefferson in a hard-fought affair. The Griffins fall to 8-3 in the CACC South. Jefferson improves to 10-1, and that game will make it hard for the Griffins to catch Jefferson, as Jefferson now has a 2-game lead. And if you Science is did not lose today. Not sure what their final was. That'll make it tough for the Griffins to secure either of those two spots, as they're now 2 back of the 2 first-place teams. So the Griffins fall 74-71. They've now lost 2 in a row. This one a tight game with a lot of lead changes and a lot of ties. And we will have Game 2 of the doubleheader between the men of Jefferson and Chestnut Hill in just about 20 minutes.